Welcome back. Let's talk about creating memorable moments or defining moments in your customer's experience. The funny thing is, your customers are going to remember these little moments in their experience with you rather than the end product or the end service that you provide. Now, of course, they're going to expect that the product or service that they buy from you meets a certain quality, but the thing that they are really going to remember are the individual defining moments that you provide throughout this experience. This is backed up by research, actually. There's this great book called Power of Moments by Heath, and in it they talk about a hotel, a real hotel, this is true. It's called the Magic Castle Hotel. And apparently it's not the best hotel. It doesn't have the most amazing accommodations. It's average. It is average, but this hotel has really excelled at creating defining moments. So what they do is guests at this hotel can go to the pool and they have a big red phone there by the pool. And at any moment during the day, guests can go over to this big red phone, they can pick it up, and on the other end they'll hear, "Hello, popsicle hotline, how can I help you?" And at that point, the guest can put in their order for any flavor of popsicle that they'd like, whatever is their favorite, and a few minutes later, one of the hotel's employees will come out with white gloves on, carrying a silver platter with the popsicle of their choice. Now, the most amazing thing is this hotel is just average. It's not like it's so exceptional, but what they do excel at are the small moments, such as the popsicle hotline, that exceed expectations and that have their guests talking about them for months to come. And guess what it is that they talk about when the guests go home and their neighbors and relatives say, "How was the trip?" Well, they talk about the popsicle hotline. This is what I want you to do in your business. And this goes along with what your project is. You need to create a project where you are starting to brainstorm 3 ways that you create defining moments for your customer. And these are the moments that are going to build word of mouth and really give you more business. Now, this goes along with the quote by Maya Angelou, which says that people will forget what you said, they will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So how do you want your customers to feel? For me, at One Blushing Bride, with my custom wedding veils, I want my brides to feel beautiful. I want them to feel gorgeous and valued in a culture where women are told that they're not beautiful and they're not valued. That is my goal. What is the goal in your business? What do you want your customers to feel? And what are the small defining moments that you can do to create that experience? Now, keep in mind, this does not have to be something that breaks the bank. For the popsicle hotline, I mean, they're paying hardly anything at all for these popsicles that they're giving out. It doesn't have to be something that is expensive. In fact, I would recommend not doing something expensive. We don't want to break the bank with this. It is more about the thought that goes into it. So I want you to start brainstorming ideas. And we live in such an experience-based culture these days. So even for businesses that are providing an end product, such as clothing, jewelry, or a service, such as web design, accounting, or something, all of these businesses still need to provide an experience because people expect to have an experience whenever they work with a business. And this is what's going to make you stand out from the rest of the businesses. Just to kind of get the juices flowing, I'm going to tell you some of the things that I have done in the past. I continue to experiment with this and try to get better at it because there's always room for improvement, but this is just to kind of get you thinking. The things that I do is if I'm meeting with a client one-on-one, say they're coming to me and we're meeting at a coffee shop to talk about her vision for her wedding, I will surprise her by stopping at the local French bakery that we have here. They have these delicious filo dough pastries. They're absolutely heavenly. They're to die for. I'll just pick up one. I pick up one, I have it in the nice little French packaging, and I give it to her because she has taken the time to meet with me, and bride's time is valuable. And it's amazing how this $2 pastry can go a long way to really creating that exceptional moment. Even if the bride doesn't really have a sweet tooth, just the fact that I would think of her and go to that extra work really makes an impact. Something else that I do is I try to create a defining moment with the packaging that I do for my veils. So I have nice white boxes with white, sturdy tissue paper. I have beautiful double-sided, kind of a pinkish satin ribbon and custom logos. I have veil care instructions and a beautiful handwritten note that ties in whatever the bride and I have been talking about over the past few months or however long our correspondence has been. And this is supposed to create a moment that she remembers, that defining moment. I've even had brides put the elements of the packaging of their veil into their wedding scrapbook. That shows you how important that moment is of when she's opening her box, and it's the anticipation of what is going to be inside. How can you incorporate that in your own packaging and doing it creatively so that you're not breaking the bank? For me, I have lots of extra scraps of tulle lying around because tulle is the fabric that is used for wedding veils. So I have so much tulle, so tulle is part of the packaging that I use to wrap up my veils, actually. It creates a really nice bow. So what do you have laying around that can create a really nice experience and package for your clients? Now, I want you to brainstorm some ways that you can do this, and I also want you to remember that this is a process. I remember back when I was first starting my business and I was even more on a budget, I didn't understand this at all. And I thought, well, as long as the veil is beautiful and of good quality, then my brides will be happy. That's not the case. So I had this one client, I was fresh out of boxes, and so I went to my garage and I picked out a nice, clean, didn't have any dirt on it, a nice box. The problem was that it was a shoebox, and I packaged the veil up inside the shoebox and I sent it to my bride, and guess what? She was not happy that her veil was packaged in a shoebox. And understandably so, I wouldn't want to receive my veil in a shoebox, even if it is a clean shoebox. So the reason I'm sharing this fail story of mine is so that you know that you're not going to get it right all the time, but just being aware of how you can create these experiences will help you. And I want you to start thinking about how you can implement this into your own business. Maybe it's even with something like a sign-off that you do at the end of every email. For example, a lot of people just sign off their emails by saying best, comma, their name. It's a little boring, it's a little generic. Maybe you can come up with something that's special, something that's unique. For me, I have a couple different sign-offs, but what I use a lot is with anticipation for your special day, comma, Alicia, which is my name. So you can also start to brainstorm different sign-offs that you can use, something that makes you stand out and shine. Thank you.